Today we will be discussing dairy manure management. As a producer of the world, agriculture is always evolving, and for most dairies, the three-legged milking stool has been set aside for vacuum pumps and in some cases robotics. Genetics have also come to the forefront as selective breeding has allowed cows to be more productive, resulting in more feed required in most instances, and what goes in must come out. A happy, healthy cow is a productive cow, and there are a number of practices that producers have implemented to increase herd health. One of these is a clean housing area. One of the more popular barn cleaning solutions is a flush system. This system incorporates a graded foundation so that water can flow from one end to the middle, down a drain into a separation system. From there, solids and liquids go to their respective storage areas, and for the smaller producer, a bed pack is still a viable option. Some barns also use what is called a slat over pit system, where the floor of the barn has gaps in it about 2 inches wide that sit over top of an empty pit. The manure from the cows falls down into the pit. In some cases, the pit acts as emergency storage, but most of the time it is pumped out to outside storage facilities. Either way, once it is removed from the barn, there are a number of storage options available. For the liquids, solids, it's basically either being piled up outside or inside. It just depends on what capital is available. As for the liquids, the above ground tank is usually the go-to. As its name implies, a man-made structure is erected, usually cylindrical in nature, and can be found in the figure here on the slide. This system holds the liquids after separation. It's important to note that the above-ground tank can only store liquids. For the smaller producer, a one-size-fits-all solution usually falls within a walled enclosure or a storage pond. These are a mixture of packed clay and concrete pits that can hold both solids and liquids. The amount of storage needed varies from farm to farm. Obviously, it is dependent on the number of animals in operation, but climate and location come into play. And as 99.9% of dairies have a nutrient management plan, this plan takes into account the climate and location so that the manure can be spread and incorporated to minimize the probability of runoff or leaching through the soil and potentially polluting outside water sources. On the topic of spreading, solids are usually applied with a conventional box spreader. For liquid manure, the producer has options. They can either tank it out gallon by gallon through a surface tanker, or they have the option of continuous pumping through a drag line straight to the field. However, for a drag line to be practical, it is advised that the field not be greater than 2 miles from the storage facility. Either route, it is advised that the manure be incorporated into the soil, and this is where liquid manure has the edge, as it is able to be knifed in directly into the soil, whether by a surface tanker or a drag line. Though if you were to talk to a dairy farmer about their manure program, most would say that they have one or two issues. Either they don't have enough storage, or they don't have enough acreage to spread their manure on, as their management plan only calls for the agronomic rate to be applied. One route that is available is to sell or contract the excess material to neighboring farms. There is one alternative to excess manure that is starting to catch on in larger operations, is an anaerobic digester, which takes manure, turns it into biogas, and digestate. The biogas can be used as fuel for heat, electricity, or for vehicles. And in terms of electricity, it can be used on farm or sold back and put on the grid. But it's important to note that all materials should be accounted for under the management plan. The management of manure is an important aspect of the farm to keep dairies environmental and consumer friendly, and most importantly, sustainable.